event audience or any other audience who subsequently signs up to the event after it is finished. With this being the case, it's important to finish the event strongly and provide thought as to how you can maximize the benefit of the experience. Unlike an exclusively on-site, in-person event, a virtual event gives you the opportunity to create a more curated, ongoing experience for a much longer time after the actual live event has finished. Determining the right analytics. Now, this little part of our guide could have been placed near the beginning, as it goes hand in hand with determining your metrics of success. However, it is also typically the last part of the event. It's important with any event that you look back retrospectively and determine your successes and your failures, the areas that can be improved and the areas that need to be dispensed with in the future. With online events, it is in some ways easier to determine the level of engagement in each component of the event, as you have the ability to quantify to some degree how your audience engaged with each video and part of the event. There are a number of ways that Sardius sets up analytics. However, as with many aspects of the world-changing event, how you set up analytics is determined in many ways by what you need to see to establish whether the event has been successful. The analytics we receive are based on, firstly, player statistics. The built-in statistic engine on the Sardius platform is focused on stats around the video players in your event. This means that there are many and varied analytics around the demographics of who watched your video content, where they watched it from, on what device they watched it on, how long they watched it for, which content they skipped, and which they engaged in. In addition to those video player analytics, you can also get page analytics. We also have this ability to apply your Google Analytics account to different components of the event. This also includes your sponsor's ability to include their Google Analytics account on their sponsor experience, which gives you the ability to track page views versus player views. This can give you the ability to track how many individuals click through on certain calls to action. And some of these calls to action may be key to your key metrics in the event. Ultimately, there's no silver bullet to ensure without a shadow of a doubt that your event will be successful. There's inherent risk involved in pretty much everything in life. However, if you follow the steps outlined in this guide, you have a much greater chance of not only knowing what you want to achieve, but actually achieving it. Obviously, as the size and the complexity of your event grows, the checklists of tasks to complete the event successfully will grow. If you're already a Sardius client, our event management team is waiting to get into those many lists of tasks that have to be completed so that you will have a world-changing event. If you're not a client, our business development team is really open to having a conversation about whether Sardius is the right platform for you at this moment to take your event to the next level. No matter if you use Sardius or not, we're rooting for the success of your events and your organization. And I thank you so much for taking the time to go through this event guide. There's a reason why the framers of the US Constitution included the right of the people to peaceably assemble in the First Amendment. The reason is that history changes when people gather and exchange ideas. Be it the early church who gathered 2,000 years ago, to the recent